Hi all, okay. Good afternoon, alright. So for those who I already assigned you for the tomorrow practical, please prepare your material for tomorrow, okay? So we will discuss the issue in the data set during the R practical session, okay? And then the topic will be missing value, outliers, and also duplicate data, okay? Alright. Okay, so for today we will continue our lecture with the descriptive statistic. Okay, under the descriptive statistic we will measure the central tendency and also we measure the variability, or we call it as a measure of dispersion. Okay. Alright, so for the measure of central tendency is a part of the numerical, okay, numerical that represent the we call it as a coefficient or information, okay, to the given data. Okay, so under the measure of central tendency, we will study three methods or three measure to central tendency, which is the first one is a mean, the second one is the median, the third one is a mode. Okay, all of this we will discuss for the three type of data. The first data is ungrouped data, the second one is a ungrouped data with the frequency, the third one is a group data. Okay, alright, so basically for the measure of central tendency, it is under the descriptive statistic. Okay, because we have two types of statistic. The first one is a descriptive, the second one is the inferential statistic. Okay, so basically for the descriptive statistic, they will inform you the basic, okay, basic information about the data. But for the inferential statistic, they will deliver the information and then you can make a conclusion based on the sample data. Okay, so under the measure of central tendency, we have three things. Okay, the first one is a mean, the second one is the mode, and the third one is the median. Okay, so the mean will be, for a sample there will be alright, so the mean is equal to X bar for a sample, and then this one will be the mu for the population. Okay, so the mode is the highest frequency and the median is the middle observation. Okay, so you see that this one is a single value. The central tendency is a single value that represent the whole data. For example, you have a list of data, observation 1, observation 2, observation 3, observation 4, observation 5. Okay, so for the X bar, only one value. Okay, let's say 3.5. This is the value for the X bar. Only one value. You cannot have two value for the X bar. This is the definition of the single value that represent the whole data set. Okay, alright. So for this one, okay, this is the data that we score. Okay, data, a mark score by 8 students. Right, sorry, I skipped to this one first. Okay, mean. Mean is the average of a set of a measurement. Okay, so we need to find the mean for ungrouped data. Okay, the second one is the ungrouped data with the frequency, and the third one is the group data. Okay, you see the formula for the ungrouped data. Mean is equal to total divided by the number of data. Okay, the total of the total of observation divided by how many number of observation that you have. Okay, and then for the X bar, okay, X bar for the ungrouped data with the frequency, X bar is equal to summation of Fx divided by summation of F. And then the last one is the X bar is equal to summation of Fx divided by summation of F. Okay, so the most important part is the group data. Okay, the group data whereby X bar is equal to summation of Fx, okay, alright, divided by summation of F. Okay, but X here is the class midpoint. Okay, so the class midpoint that you study from the tutorial 1 is very important and significant for our mean calculation. Okay, alright. So we see the first example, mark score by 8 students. Okay, the mark score by 8 students. Okay, so n is equal to 8. Alright, so we have 8 observation here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This one is for the ungrouped data. Okay, alright, so the second one is the number of absent day of 66 students. Okay, this type of data we call it as a ungrouped data with a frequency. Okay, so we have 0, means that all the students not absent, absent 1 day, absent 2 days, absent for 3 days. Okay, so we have the frequency here. Okay, we call it as a ungrouped data with the frequency. Okay, the last one is a group data. This is the group data. Okay, they will given to you marks here. Okay, and then this one is a class interval. The first column is a class interval. The second one is the frequency. The third one is the midpoint. Okay, how to calculate the midpoint, class? Lower class boundary plus upper class boundary divided by 2, or lower class interval plus upper class interval divided by 2, you get the midpoint here. Okay, what is fx here? This is a frequency multiplied by midpoint. So you get 69. Okay? Sorry? Let us calculate the marks, okay, the average or the mean. Okay, so the marks scored by 8 students, we have the observation n is equal to 8, 88, 71, 60, 44, 76, 82, 80, and then 59. Okay, so find the mean. Okay, you need to find the mean for this one, you just get the total divided by 8. Okay, this one is a basic, okay. You plus all the observation there and then divided by 8. So you get 70. The average mark is equal to 70. Okay, so mean here also we can refer as the center value. Okay, mean is the center. That is why we call it as a central tendency. Okay, alright, so we go with the second one. This one. Okay, so find the mean for the absent day of the 66 student. Okay, how to find the mean for the ungrouped data with frequency? Okay, so you need to 0 multiplied by 20 plus 1 multiplied by 21 plus 2 multiplied by 15, okay, plus 3 multiplied by 10. Okay, so you get all this total divided by the total frequency. Okay, the total frequency, which is 20 plus 21 plus 15 plus 10, and then you will get the mean. So the mean here is equal to 1.23. Okay, alright, so the average number of absent day is equal to 1 day. We cannot write as a 1.23 day. 1 day only. Okay? Alright. So for this one, same also. Alright, we see this one. Okay. Example for this one, the marks are scored by 44 students. Okay, in statistic examination are shown in the table below. So you must make sure that all the 44 here must be consistent with the total number here. Okay? It must be consistent with the total number of students here. Okay, and then the marks here is a class interval. This one is equal to class interval. The left we call it as a lower class interval, and then the right one we call it as a upper class interval. Okay, all right. So you need to find the midpoint. Okay, the midpoint there. Okay, so in order to find the mean here, you need to find the midpoint. So S bar is equal to summation of F multiplied by X divided by F. So the total will be 44. Okay, because we have 44 students overall, this one. And then F is a frequency of each class interval multiplied by the midpoint. Okay, right. So you will get this solution here. Okay, all right. Number of students is equal to 2, and the midpoint is equal to 34.5. Okay, and then for the fx, it is equal to 34.5 multiplied by 2. Okay, and then you get 69 here. Okay, all right, so here, for the second row, 40 until 49, the first thing that you need is to find the midpoint first. Okay, and then 40 until 49, the midpoint is equal to 44.5. Then you multiply by 4. Okay, and then you get 178. You need to do all the class interval here and get the summation of the class interval here. So the summation of fx is equal to 2848. Okay, how you get 2848? 2848 is equal to summation of fx, right? So you need to 69 plus 178, 1 plus 136 plus with the 436 plus 903 plus 745 plus 422.5 plus 94.5. Okay, try to calculate this one. This one you need calculator, okay? Please try to calculate all this value. Either this one is correct or not, please check. Okay, alright? But then the value of summation of f is equal to 44 must be tally and consistent with the statement given in the question. Okay, if here you get 44, so in the calculation you must got 44 also. Okay? Alright, so for the x bar, it is equal to 2848 divided by the total frequency. So the total one is a 64.7. Okay? This one is a basic. The mean is the basic because after this you need to use for the standard deviation. Okay? So please make sure this one you correctly find the value of the mean. Okay? Alright, so this one. The number of individual tax forms prepared by small accounting firm in Perak. Okay, the data shown in the table below. We have 20 until 30. So this one is also the group data. Okay, so number of accounting here. Alright, so when you see this table, please find the midpoint. Okay, please find the midpoint. Calculate the value of midpoint here. So is the midpoint for the first class interval? What is the first midpoint? 20? Adi, berapa? 25 point? We have point or not? 0.0 is it? This one? 35. 20 plus 30 divided by 2. 25, okay? 50 divided by 2 is 25. And then 70, 35, and then 45, 55. One, two, three, four, 5. This is a 5 class interval. So you need to have and you need to calculate for the 5 class midpoint. Okay? Alright, so this is the frequency. 1, 5, 22, 8, and 4. Okay? So 25 multiplied by 1. Okay, and then 35 multiplied by 15. Okay, this one multiplied by 22. Multiplied by 8, multiplied by 4 to get the value of fx. Okay, to get the value of fx. This is the function, this fx like this. Okay. Alright, so after you get the total value of f multiplied by x, okay, then you will divide by, how many? Divide by 50 altogether. Divided by 50. Okay, try to calculate this one, okay? Because the final answer is already there, 44.8. Okay, alright, so you need to focus on to find the mean for the group frequency or group data. Okay, alright, so we go with the second one. Okay. The second measure of central tendency is the mode. Okay, mode is the highest frequency. Okay, associated with the highest frequency or mode refers to the observation that occur most often. Okay, and has the largest frequency in our data. Okay, so the first one. Okay, the first one, this one is for ungrouped data. Okay, 352,01433, right? So the first one, you can see that we have a 3 for a 3 times, okay? So that is why the mode is a 3, okay? And then we go with the second question, 2, 3, 5, 5, 10, 7, 8, 3. So the mode will be 3 and 5 because they have the same or equal frequency. The last one is we have 11, 13, 14, and so on. This one, no model value. Why? All the same. There is no highest frequency in this type of data. Okay? Alright, so this one is find the mode for the absent day. Which one? You need to find or select the highest frequency for the mode here. So for the mode here, the number of absent day is equal to 1 will be the model value. Okay? This one easy, just pick from the frequency table. Okay, this one, right? This one is for the group data. Okay, so how to find the mean for the group data? This one will be more challenging to find the mode. We are using this. Okay, we are using this table. This one is for group data and how to find the mode here. Okay, so the modes will be, the formula is this formula. Okay, right, so for the group frequency, you see this formula. Okay, so L is a lower class boundary of the model class. Okay, this one is a lower class boundary of the model class. Okay, this one is a delta 1. Okay, delta 1 is referred to the difference between the frequency of the model class and then the frequency before. Okay, and then we see that the delta 2. The delta 2 here is the difference between the frequency between the model class and then the frequency after. Multiply by the C. What is C here? The class size. Okay, the class size. Okay, the first step. Okay, the first step here, you find the model class here. What is the highest frequency? What is the highest frequency? 14, right? So which class of interval here? 60 until 69, right? Okay. So you just highlight this one. Find the model class first, 14, and then the class interval is the 60 until 69. Okay. All right, so this one, the lower class boundary. So what will be? The lower class boundary for the highlighted in red board there. Okay? What will be the lower class boundary? No? Minus with the 0.5. Okay? Minus with the 0.5. Okay? Alright, so the difference, 14 minus with the 8. Okay? Because the model class minus with the frequency before. Okay? Minus with the frequency before, which means that 14 minus 8 divided by 14 minus 8 plus 14 minus 10. Okay? Because this one, this is the delta. Delta in mathematics, we call it as a difference. You must have a minus sign here. Okay? Summation is plus. delta is minus. Okay, the difference. Alright, okay. So, class size or C here, okay, you find 60 until 69. So, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69. So, 10. 10, okay? So, we have 10 here. Okay, so you get the mode here is equal to 59.5 plus 6 divided by 6 plus 4 multiplied by 10. Okay, so you will get equal to 65.5. Okay, alright, so this one is the first step to find the mode for the group frequency, group data is find the first modal class, this one. If you are given this data, you need to find the modal class. For this one, the highest frequency is 14. So 14 is fall under the 60 until 69 class interval. Okay, after that, you need to find the lower class boundary for the 60 and 69. So the lower class boundary will be 60 minus with the 0.5. Okay, plus with the difference of the frequency of this 14 minus with the 8. Okay, divided by 14 minus 8 plus 14 minus 10. Multiply by 60 until 69, so you get 10. Okay, so you will get the value for the modal class is equal to 65.5. Okay, alright, so you can conclude that most of the students score 65.5%. Okay. Right, so this one is the second class, is the second central tendency, or how to measure the central tendency. Okay, the third one is the median. The median is the third one to measure the central tendency of our data, of our sample, of our observation. Okay, so median is a value that is exactly in the middle of position of the list when the data value are ranked, which means that you sort the data into the increasing order. Okay, meaning that 50% of all observation is less than the median value and another 50% will be more than the median value. Okay, so for ungroup data, how to find this one? For ungroup data, so you get this one right. This one, let's say this is the data, so you need to calculate the median of this data. But then, these observations are not arranged in the increasing order. The first step is you need to arrange them into the increasing order. Okay, so you get 44, 59, 60, 70, 76, and so on. Okay, you check the number of sample. You check the number of sample. How many number of sample there? Pavitra, how many number of sample? 8, right? So, plus 1. 8 plus 1 divided by 2, so it is equal to 4.5. Does the 4.5 is equal to median? Not yet. 4.5 to describe the position of the data. So you find that the data from the 4.5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 4.5 is between the 71 and 76. Okay, so what will be the value? 71 plus 76 divided by 2, so you get the median is equal to 73.5. Okay, so we can conclude that 50% of 8 students score less than 73.5, and then another 50 score more than 73.5. Okay. This one is for the n is equal to 8, right? How about n is equal to 9? Do you need to plus 1 or not? No need. Okay? Just get 4.5 or so. Okay, so this one is ungroup data with the frequency for the median. Okay. Find the median number of absent day of 66 students. Okay? Alright, so what you need first? Okay, you need to construct a cumulative frequency. Whatever you study from the last week, you will apply in this descriptive measure. Okay, alright, so this one you need to find the cumulative frequency. Okay, started with the 20. How it can be 41? 20 plus 21, the second you get 41, plus with the 15, you get 56, plus with the 10, you get 66. Okay, 66 here. The last one, the last row here is inconsistent with the statement in the question, 66, alright? So, position the median is equal to n plus 1 divided by 2. Okay, this one is a 66 plus 1 divided by 2. But the position is 33.5. Okay, how to get this one, 33.5? So, the first one is until 20. The second one is until 41. So, means that the median is between this. Based on the what? Based on the value and then cumulative frequency. So 33.5 is fall under the number of absent day is equal to 1. We cannot take this 56 because this greater than already. Then we cannot take the 0. Why? Because it's a less than. So, the 33.5 position of the data is between this number of absent is equal to 1. Okay? So, you get the median is equal to 1. So, you can make a conclusion like this. 50% of the 60 students score less than 1 and so on. Okay? You can copy and then you just change the value only. But then, 50% is always related to the median. Why? Because the median is the middle of the data. Okay? Alright, so the last one, this one, median for the group data. How to get the median for the group data? Just now you find the mode for the group data. This one you need to find the median for the group data. What is the median for this group data? See this formula first. Okay, see this formula. This is the formula for the median for the group data. Right. So you see that this median is equal to LM. What is LM? LM is a, find the LM here. Lower class boundary of a median. Okay. So, plus with the total frequency divided by 2. Why the total frequency divided by 2? Because this one is always formula for the median in the middle of the data. Okay, minus with the summation of cumulative frequency before the median. Okay, divided by, what is FM? FM is equal to frequency of the median class. Multiply by C. So, 60 until 69. Okay? Or the class size, we call it. The class size, the class width, and so on. Okay. So, for this one, what is the median? The position of the median. Find the position of the median first. Okay, summation of F divided by 2. Median always divided by 2. Okay, so total frequency is equal to 44 divided by 2. So the position is 22, right? So 22, you need to construct a cumulative frequency first. Okay, so 22, it is between here and here. 14 until 28. So this one until 14 only. So 22 fall under this 60 until 69 here. Okay, alright. So this one, if you get the correct interval for this one, they will follow through. But if you make a mistake here, you get the 50 until 59 as a first class interval, then you make a mistake the whole and the entire calculation. Okay? Alright, so for this one, we can apply this one. Okay? So 60 until 69, and then we have 40, we have 59.5 until 69.5, and the cumulative frequency is equal to 28. Okay, so the first one, the lower class boundary. Okay, this one is a lower class boundary of a median class. So it will be 59.5. Okay, lower class boundary here. 59.5. Okay, and then plus with the total frequency divided by 2. 44 divided by 2, you get 22. Minus with the cumulative frequency before the median class. Cumulative frequency before the median class is a 14. Okay, cumulative frequency before the class is a 14. Okay, alright, divided by frequency of a median class. So frequency of a median class will be 28. Okay, so sorry, FA frequency of a median class. So this one, the frequency 14. Okay, and then we have the class interval equal to 10. Okay, please differentiate between the cumulative frequency and then the frequency of the class. Okay, alright, so you get 65.2. Get it? Okay, see this one. What is this? Lower frequency plus with the, what is the formula class for the median? Between these three, mean, mode, and median, which one is the most difficult to calculate? Median or mode? Mean you cannot avoid the mean, because after this you need to find the mean also for the variability, variance and standard deviation. You need to use the mean. Which one? Which one is the most difficult and most challenging to calculate the value? Median or mode? Median. Alright, okay, so we will do in the tutorial class also, for tutorial 1. Okay? Alright, so we have the second one. Okay? So under the central tendency, under the descriptive statistic, we have 2. Okay, the first one is a central tendency. This one is the dispersion or variability. They are same in the name. Okay, so here we have mean, mode, median. So the second one is the standard deviation, variance, range. Okay, right. Or mean deviation and so on. Okay, all right. So measure of dispersion. This one we have the mean deviation, we have the standard deviation, we have the coefficient of variation. Okay. Alright, so the first one, mean deviation is equal to absolute measure of the dispersion of a set of a data. Okay, measure the average difference between the actual value and the mean of the data. Okay, so basically for this measure of dispersion is always to check how far your data from the mean. Because mean is the center, how far your data from the mean. Okay, the smaller the value of standard deviation, it will be indicating a better data. But higher the value of standard deviation means that your data is far away from the mean, and then this one is indicating the data is not good. If you were asked to compare the data. Okay. So for this ungrouped data, okay, so this one is the median deviation, okay, the summation of xi minus x bar. So you see in the formula we have x bar. X bar will be representing the mean, okay, divided by n. What is n here? The number of sample. Okay, so if you are given 2, 30, 40, 10, 50, and then you need to calculate the mean deviation, so the x bar is equal to summation of x divided by n. Summation of x is you need to find all 20 plus 30 plus 40 plus 10 plus 50 divided by the number of observation, n is equal to 5. So you get the x bar here, but only the first part, okay? X bar is only represent here. Okay, but then this one is a summation. Summation you need to add all here, okay? Alright, so for the mean deviation, okay, so you need to find this one. 20 minus 30 plus 30 minus 30, okay, plus 40 minus 30 plus 10 minus 30 plus 50 minus 30 divided by 5. Huh? Okay, because why you always minus 3 or minus 30? Because the mean. Okay, you see this formula. This formula for MD is equal to summation. Summation, you need to find the total of xi minus x bar divided by n. N is the number of observation. Okay, so xi, because this one is summation, xi will be xi equal to 1. Observation number 1 minus with the 30, because x bar is equal to 30. Okay, plus xi equal to 2, which means that the second observation minus with the mean divided by n. That is why it becomes like this. Okay, so the first one, the first observation is a 20, then you might need to minus with the 30 as a mean. Okay, plus 30 minus with the 30, and then 40 minus with the 30, and altogether you need to divide by 5. Okay, you need to divide by 5. Okay, so you get the mean deviation is equal to 12. Okay, since you see this one is a, what is this? Modulus, right? So the value is always positive, or we call it as a mean absolute deviation. Okay, whereby the value is always positive. This one. How to find this, the mean deviation for the group data. Determine the mean deviation of the following data. Okay, so you see the MD is equal to summation of F. Okay, this one F is equal to frequency. Okay, absolute value here xi. The first observation, the second, the third, and so on, minus with the S bar divided by the total frequency. Okay, alright, so here you have the class. Because for the group data, we always have a class interval 0 until 5, 5 until 10, until 20, until 25. Okay, so what is X here? For the group data, X is always the midpoint. Okay, the midpoint, and then the F here is a frequency. Okay, alright, so you found this one. The same. 4 multiplied by midpoint plus 4 multiplied by 7.5 and so on, and then you will get 12.75. Okay, alright. This one is for the mean. Okay, the second step is a xi minus x bar. Okay, and then you need to multiply by f xi minus x bar. And then this is the last one. The median, the mean deviation is equal to 3.35. You can write in this table form, one by one, or you maybe write as a normal calculation. Okay, alright. The first step is you need to find the, based on this formula, summation of f xi. Okay, this one is for the observation minus x bar divided by summation of F. Okay? So which one to start first? You find the value of mean, you get marks already. This one. S bar is always represent the mean. Okay? So you find the value of mean, then you will get the marks there. Okay? So the mean, this one, F is the frequency. This one is the total frequency. Okay? Alright. So, how to get this one? The first step you need to find from this one. Xi minus S bar. Okay? Xi minus S bar first. And then this one will be the second. Multiply by frequency of each category divided by the total frequency. That is shown in the table. Okay? The first one, they find the value of the mean. You get 12.75. And then after that, they calculate the Xi minus S bar. Okay, which is 10.25. How to get 10.25? How to get this one? 10.25. This one, 2.5 minus with the 2.5 minus with the 12.75. This one class, 10.25 you get from the 2.5 minus with the 12.75. Why this one is a positive value? Because this one have a modulus here. So that is why it is always the value in a positive value. Okay, how you get 5.25? 7.5 minus with the 12.75. So you get 5.25. After you get all this value, you need to multiply by frequency. Okay, after you multiply by frequency, you can complete this table. Okay, you can complete this table. 10.25 multiplied by 4, so you get 41. This one you need the calculator to help you. Okay, alright, so 5.25 multiplied by 4, you get this value. 0.25 multiplied by 20, you get this value. 4.75 multiplied by 10, you get this value, and so on. Okay, after you get all this value, you need to divide it by 40 and get the mean deviation is equal to 3.35. Okay? Okay, this one is the standard deviation. Okay, standard deviation is a parameter for the normal distribution. Okay, normally when we generate data last week, right, R norm is equal to number of sample, 20. This one is a mean, this one is a standard deviation. Okay, because most of the statistical tests will use and will depend on the normal distribution. And normal distribution parameter is always mean and also the standard deviation. Okay, alright, so the standard deviation by definition the square root of average of the square distance of the observation from the mean. Okay, but then easier way to understand this one, how far your data from the mean. The distance of your data, the distance of each observation from the center or the mean. Okay, alright, so the formula, we have formula 1 and we have formula 2. Okay, you can use either one. Both will provide you the similar and exact result. But for this one, I advise you to use the formula number 2. Formula number 2 is easy, friendly. Okay, friendly. Alright, friendly formula as compared to the formula number 1. Okay, use the formula number 2. Alright, so the standard deviation is always the square root of variance. Okay, whereby the formula is 1 over n minus 1. Okay, in bracket is equal to summation of x square minus with the summation of x, the whole thing square divided by n. But please remember that the summation of x square is not equal to the summation of x, the whole thing square. Not equal. They have a different value. Okay? Alright, this one you need to square first. This one you need to find the total first, and then after that you square. Okay? Alright, so how to find this one? This one. Okay. Alright, so which data set has a less dispersion, which means that the less value of the standard deviation or the smaller value of the standard deviation indicate the better data. Okay, which one? We need to check. See this formula first. You know normal data? The bell-shaped curve, right? The bell-shaped curve. Alright, so normal data is basically based on the mean, and then it is also based on the standard deviation. Okay, it is based on the mean and then based on the standard deviation. These two parameters, okay? So we need to find the value for these two. Okay, the standard deviation will be equal to square root of variance, whereby the standard deviation will be, you get this value, 1 over n minus 1 in bracket, okay, summation of x square minus summation of x, the whole thing is square divided by n. Okay, right. Tip, 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 plastered, 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 t, 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 plus 50 plus 60 plus 70, and then the whole thing need to square. Try to get the value. The value should be different. Okay? The value must be different from the x square. Okay? Okay, I already calculated the value. Okay, I already calculated the value. Please check all the value here. Okay? Alright, okay, so you get 13,000 and then 900. Okay, and then you calculate the summation of x. Okay, and then calculate the value of s. So s is equal to 1 over 6 minus 1, because n is the number of observation minus 1, and then this one is a x square minus with the 270, and then the whole thing is square divided by 6. That is why the value is always different. So you get the standard deviation is equal to 18.708 for the first data or the group data A. How about the group data B? This one is very long, right? Okay, this one we will continue during the tutorial. Okay, so please find this one first. Okay, the formula for this one. Study this one first, and then I will explain in the tutorial class. Okay, so you can continue doing the tutorial. So tomorrow we can discuss the tutorial and then issue of the data set during the practical. Okay, alright. Okay, so that's all class. Take your attendance, and you may leave.